You have questions, we have answers. This is Jane Muller.
And this is Ken Muller. Welcome to our show, all about real estate with Ken and Jane. Today we have as our guest David Kagel. He's a co-owner of Pool Brothers located in East Brunswick, New Jersey. David, welcome to our show.
Welcome.
Hi, how are you? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, great.
So now it's great to have you. So now it's a busy season.
Yes.
And so tell us a little bit about your background, how you got into the pool business.
So I didn't start in the pool business. I actually started in healthcare. I had owned a healthcare company, a home care company. I sold that. And my partner from that business, when I was looking to get into the next thing, I knew his sons were in the pool business, and they were doing really well. And I didn't want to be in home care anymore. So I asked him, hey, can I talk to your sons about it? I talked to his son. And I went to go work for them for a few years to learn about it. And after that, I started it on my own. He always knew I was going to go start it, my own business. He's up in North Jersey. And we've, been successful ever since.
Fantastic.
Yeah. We'd love to hear about that. That's great. And so now, how about the company Pool Brothers? How long have you guys been in business for? And
So Pool Bros, we've been around since we started 5 summers ago. We really got started like 4, really doing it full time. You think it's going to start off slow, but it really started with a bang. I can't believe it. It's been 4 summers already. But it's been fantastic. We work in like East Brunswick, all over Middlesex County, Mercer, Monmouth, all the way down to Princeton. So it's really taken off, and there's a tremendous demand for professional help.
Absolutely. That's why our show is all about real estate and everything that's related to real estate. And certainly pools are an integral part of a lot of people's homes, the livelihood. A lot of, even especially during COVID, there was a boom.
That's
I think a boom.
A waiting list.
A waiting list and demand for homes that have pools or those that don't.
Or install one.
The incentive is for the buyers. Can they install a pool based on the property lines? And I'm sure COVID certainly helped bring people want to have that family, everything contained within the household, and the outside.
A lot of time, right? When I started real estate business 17 years ago, at the beginning, selling a house with a pool, unless your luxury home have a fantastic, magnificent pool and the backyard, generally speaking, a pool is neutral, okay?
Right.
Because I always tell my client, maybe 30% people, absolutely no pool.
Right.
Like, absolutely. Doesn't matter what you say. They don't want a pool. Maybe 30% people, they just really want a pool, okay? So the balance of 40% people, they would have it. They would not buy a house because of pool, but they're not going to pay for your pool, right? So I remember a long time ago, my client seeing a house. The wife is really good swimmer. She's really enjoying the pool. They have a huge pool in the backyard, and but not much grass. So obviously the house is hard to sell because if you have young ones, you want a grass, you want a more green space rather than just big giant pool with a patio, right? And the hard surface. So I told my buyer, shh. Don't tell them you can swim. Say nothing. That was like 2011, right? We go in, we said, we love the house, but the pool is a problem, blah, blah, blah. The owner really want to sell the house. At that time, they try to tell us they spend like $100,000, did the pool and with the patio, with the kitchen, whatever, cost them that time.
That's cheap now.
But that is
time,
cheap now.
2011.
But that 2011, they did it like probably 10 years from that, right? So They telling us, I said, great, you're telling us, but it's no use to us, right? So at the end, we settled the price. My buyer got a really good deal. It was so funny. And final walkthrough. So obviously, pool's opened, sparkling, everything's good. And final walkthrough, the seller forgot something. They came back home to get something. And that time we meet the buyer. They said, congrats, and we love this house. You're going to enjoy it. I know, today is your happy day, blah, blah, blah. And my buyer said, I can't wait to finish the closing. And I can, I have the swimming gear in my car. So I can't wait to enjoy the pool. You can see the owner's face.
They were very surprised.
They thought they don't want the pool.
Right.
So that's my pool story.
They played very very secretive.
Yeah, I
in
told them
their
don't
desire
say,
because
don't
if
say you
they,
like the pool.
Otherwise,
Otherwise, 100,000 pool, they're gonna make you pay 50.
Yeah.
Don't say you like the pool.
So you have to do
but
what's best.
truly, that time the pool is mutual. Some people like it, some people don't. Especially when the pool have a problem, like not well maintained.
And also, there's a
professional.
concern, I think, with pools sometimes of safety. If
Yes, for
based on the
young
age,
children.
based on the age of the young children, if they're going to have hosts. I mean, so there's a balance. But a lot of people with families love the pool, and they
Now
want,
majority people want the pool.
Yeah.
Majority people.
And that's why you need a professional and we're going to get into your services now and tell us about what you guys offer and give your contact info as well.
So we do openings, closings, weekly service. That's our biggest service. We also, help people maintain their equipment, so we can replace your pump, your filter, your heater, repair all those things if needed. And so we're kind of your go-to people for making sure your pool's functioning properly, your water's maintained, that you actually enjoy swimming in it instead of making it like an outdoor chore. People don't want to mow their own lawn because they just want to enjoy the nice, beautiful lawn. It's the same kind of thing. They don't want to have to just every day get out there, net the pool, vacuum it, figure out why. It's a whole job to figure out why your pool is not clear.
Why is it green?
Why is it green? Why is my equipment not working? And so they hire us to take care of it for them so they can just enjoy their backyard, which is what you want to do on the weekend when you're home or after work.
Leave it to the professionals. That's what
That's right.
Jane always says with everything in life. Leave it to the professionals.
Leave it
They
to
know
the
they're professionals for a reason. You're amateurs for a reason, and most homeowners are amateurs. So leave the heavy lifting with the pool stuff.
Unless they really enjoy it. Sometimes, right? I have a buyer long time ago. Actually, it's our friend. So they bought a house with a pool. So
is that the Tom who's the chemist?
Yeah.
Oh, and he was
doctor.
And he still it took him probably a whole summer to get it right.
Yeah, he's a doctor degree, right?
PhD in chemistry. So
he has a doctor degree. So he like to figure out things himself because he's like that kind of his brain functioning, right? And he bought a house with a pool. So I told him, I said, Tom, just hire the same pool guy to open the pool. Because otherwise, first year you wouldn't know how to do it. Oh no, he did himself, right? And then the everything, the dirt, when they took him whole summer, like Ken said, figured out what to do.
Yeah. So you guys on your website, you offer different packages for people that just want you to open it and want you to close it, but you offer packages if people want the works, let's say they want you to open, close it, and routinely maintain it during the year, right? There's all different types of maintenance plans that.
How often normally you go there to maintain their pool?
So after the pool, a lot of people just pay for a pool opening. Most people don't know how to open their own pool or winterize it at the closing, and we'll talk about the closing at the end.
Sure.
But so you start off with an opening. A service comes, opens your pool. They take the cover off. They get all the equipment started. They might do a great job, even vacuum like we do. Not every service does that, but we do. But the pool's not ready for you to swim in, and then you're stuck with a half clean pool that maybe it has a little leak. Maybe it's not working properly. Maybe it takes weeks for you to clear it up because you don't know how to get the chemistry balanced. You're stuck figuring out what chemicals to buy. So if you don't want to go through that whole process of getting the pool really ready for swimming, if you want us to take care of that, to get it from green to clean, so to speak,
That's cool.
we have a whole complete maintenance package. So what that means is we open your pool and then we just keep coming back until it's actually swim ready. So if that takes one or two follow visits or 5 follow visits, we just keep coming back because that way you're not worrying about it. You're at work. You're just doing that. You're not coming home through a green pool to have to vacuum it for 2 hours. We have our own specialized vacuums, our own equipment for cleaning it. We take our own chemicals with us. That's all included in the package. So you don't have to truck over to the pool store, worry about what chemicals do I need? Can I get my water tested? We take care of the testing and all that. And then starting the week before Memorial Day, we do weekly service all the way to Labor Day. So that takes care of pretty much the entire swimming season. For most people, they can, if they want to extend the service, there's options for extending the service. And then when you're ready, we close the pool. You want to close it after Labor Day, we can do that. Some people keep their pool open until Halloween. We do that too.
Oh, cool.
So
this depends on the weather.
Yeah, it depends on the weather, and
Exactly.
you're getting a later summer, and so it extends itself into fall. Please give your phone number for the listeners, because our listener base is Central Jersey, so it's right up your alley.
732-593-7133. So you can reach us pretty much anytime from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. We'll answer the phone all season long.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's
And
good.
your website address is Google.
poolbrosnj.com.
Yeah, your website's pretty comprehensive. It tells all the services you guys provide, and so it's great source.
A lot of time, right? And when people often ask me the leasing a house, right? I always tell people the if you have a pool, when to open, not open. It's first of all depend on weather, right? Like this weather is quite cool, right?
Yeah.
But generally speaking, if you're thinking about put a house on the market late April, early May, you should have a pool open because, in my opinion, that's a plus. But some people don't want to because they have a pollen. They said, "Oh, this is," but you want to show off
Or it's
the
too
pool,
much
right?
work, right? Or they
Yeah.
want to keep the cover on, so they don't because they're not going to use it.
But the thing is,
but it doesn't. But then it leaves an uncertainty in the
Yeah.
buyer's perspective, and they want to know what the functionality of the pool is, and so that they want it open, and then
You want to show
then
off your pool.
Then it becomes a negotiation item during the
Yeah.
contract with the
No,
buyer. But-
even before that, can you attract people come to your
Oh,
house?
yeah,
You
of
have
course, a beautiful pool,
I
so
mean,
it's-
if you January, February, March, early part of April, I get it. But this year is cold, right? If
Right.
it's warmer, maybe,
Well,
maybe, I mean,
Yeah.
when do you
Usually,
start?
let's ask the expert. When
yeah,
do you normally
exactly.
start opening them? Like that's a great question.
We
yeah.
start opening pools in March.
In
At-
March? No
at
way.
At my old company, they start as early as February opening
Really?
pools. yeah.
Wait, and in New Jersey, but why? Oh, because the heated pools, but still in.
So there's a couple reasons. One, there are people who want to
What-
heat their pools and use it, especially
Yeah.
if they have hot tubs connected. So they'll have a spa
Oh,
system connected to their pool, so then they can heat that up very quickly, and they'll use it at night or during the day.
Wow.
Oh, with the hot, yeah.
Right. So they want to get that going for as long as possible during the year. So that's one reason why the customer might want it open. I always recommend people to open it as early as possible. The number one reason is because when you open your pool in June 1st or May 20th, like I feel like the majority of people think of as
Okay,
pool
Memorial
opening
Day,
season.
right.
And believe me, we open plenty of pools at that time. But when you open it early, you're not fighting algae because
Yes.
the sun is what makes algae grow. So the sun's not as strong in March. It's not as strong in April. So when you open it in March or April, you're now not fighting against a green pool algae. You're giving less work for your filter, putting less stress on your equipment, and it's much easier to clean it up, especially if you're not hiring someone like me to clean it up. If you just want me to open your pool and clean it up yourself, this is much less work for you, and then you're not going to be stuck fighting algae in June. You're gonna have finished that problem in April when you're not even swimming, and so there's a little extra cost in electric, but I feel like it's made up for in less work for you and less chemicals on
Less
the back
chemicals.
I
end.
learned
because
something
that's
new. That's
interesting.
really
Yeah, I
good,
never knew-
especially
yeah.
selling the house. If you can open early, that's much better. It's
Yeah.
really the picture can look, really
Yeah.
great. And then
I never even thought about it.
I
We always
never
thought the
about
pool
it.
guys' season was they were away from like January till April maybe, but no, that you guys have.
That's why we invited you now because I
we
thought your busy time start from May. So
Right,
I thought that
but-
me just have you in April.
April, but yeah,
But
but
I didn't
that's-
know it's already started.
Yeah, actually, last year we had a customer of ours who was a long-term customer, but they decided to sell their house in Edison. So they were selling their house and they opened it in March because they wanted to make sure the
Yeah.
pool was clean and
Yes,
presentable in
yes,
April when they were
yes.
finally putting the
Yeah.
listing up and they could
Yeah.
take beautiful pictures of the
Yes,
pool.
absolutely.
That takes time. So I said to them, hey, your pool always opens very green and dirty. If we open it in March as opposed to April, you have the best chance to have a perfectly clean pool. If anything needs to be fixed, you can fix it. I can take care of that stuff for you. Whereas if people open, the other reason to open early is if you open May 20th and all of a sudden your pump's burned out, your motor doesn't start, your filter's not working, something's leaking, you're going to call me or 20 other professionals and they're all going to give you the same answer, which is, I'm sorry, we're booked up for 2 weeks.
Good
I
point,
would
yeah.
love to help you. I can't. So that's the other issue. If problems come up and you try to open it 2 weeks before June,
You're in the mad
people-
rush, and then
you're
you
in the
have to
mad
wait.
rush,
Yeah.
and then you might be waiting to get parts or get someone to come and
Good
service
point.
it.
Yeah, good
I'm going
point.
to tell my
Yeah.
clients now. I learned something new. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back after these messages. Okay, welcome back to our show. We're joined today by David Kagel of Pool Brothers. David, please give your phone number again for our listeners out there to give you a call.
It's 732-593-7133.
Oh, thank you.
Guys,
Yeah.
if you need
Okay.
somebody, please call now. You heard David,
David,
said, right?
yeah.
You
Don't wait.
Don't wait till the end.
Don't wait till the end of May when you.
And then you'll be on a waiting
Otherwise,
list.
you have to wait about 2 weeks, or if you're lucky, right? Or maybe
Yeah.
more.
Yeah, everybody busy. Call now if you need their service. Yes.
Yeah. So what should homeowners that have pools do as maintenance in between your visits? Can you go through like the process if they're going to hire a professional company like yours to do the opening, the closing, and maybe some some initial maintenance, what should they do as a good practices?
Nothing.
Or
Enjoy.
just enjoy it. Yeah, just like, or should
Nothing.
they use the net once in a while?
You should say what they shouldn't do.
What they shouldn't do, yeah.
What they
Don't
shouldn't
touch
do.
it, right?
So we take care of all the cleaning, the maintenance. We make sure your equipment's working properly. We're going to make sure to clean out your skimmers and your pumps.
Okay.
But what I always tell homeowners, even when they're using our services, even when they're paying for the full package, yes, we want to take care of everything. We want to make it easy for you, but let us know if there's any problems. If you wake up in the morning and you know the pump's supposed to be on and you don't hear it on, you don't see it, the water moving, any issues that come up, it's not a bother. I want to come and help. Tell us right away. And just normal maintenance things, like even if you have a lot of leaves and we're only coming once a week and you have a tree almost growing on top of your pool and it's dumping leaves in your pool every day, then it's good to check your skimmer baskets, because that kind of stuff can damage your equipment. So you want to make sure your skimmer baskets are emptied. And it's a good idea, even if you hire a service like mine, to have a robot that cleans the bottom of the pool. That way you can have a clean pool all the time, and we'll come and empty it out for you. Mm-hmm. And especially for homeowners who don't hire a service like mine, it's a godsend to have a little robot helper you can chuck in the pool a few times a week to clean the bottom for you.
Right. And I think that will prolong the life of the equipment by having the skimmers and the filters cleaned regularly, because otherwise you put a lot of strain probably on the pumps and the other equipment if you have a lot of debris.
Right, yeah. I mean, you can either get your skimmers could be clogged, which can be very costly, or you could have debris get into the pump itself. There's 2 levels of baskets, but that doesn't matter. If it gets too full, the baskets will crack. Leaves will get into the motor itself, and that can cause real damage to the motor and costly repair. So it's definitely cheaper to just stay on top of that kind of maintenance task. And that's true about basically everything with the pool. If you're not maintaining it all the time or paying someone like me to maintain it, you could be making some really costly mistakes. People think that because the pool is clear and clean and, oh, wow, it's beautiful, I'd love to swim in this clear pool, it must be fine. But the truth is, if you're not maintaining the water balance properly, that can also be damaging your equipment. That can be damaging the finish of your pool. That can be taking life off your pool liner. And this is true for above ground pools, for in-ground pools. It can damage your pumps, your heaters. Heaters are very expensive. So you're causing premature wear on that kind of stuff. If you're not maintaining the pool balance, that can put stress on your filter. So you want to be maintaining all this stuff all summer long, or paying someone like me to come and do it, because it adds up, this kind of deferred maintenance. It's just like if you don't take care of your roof or you don't clean out your gutters, you don't notice that the gutters are full for a long time, but then when you do notice, it's very costly.
Under the car, just like a car
or
as well.
Or like a furnace with a filter. If you never clean the filter, you put a lot of strain on the furnace, and that has to work harder to pump, and then you're not getting the quality of health isn't as good. It's analogous with the pool too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Very simple.
Now let's change the topic. There's a lot of people interested about asking, is it worth it to change the standard pool to the salted pool? So what's the difference?
Why don't you explain
do you guys do that work, help them to switch?
Yeah, so we do salt conversions. So they have some distinct advantages, and there's also a lot of, I feel like, myths around it. The distinct advantage is that some people are very sensitive to traditional chlorine tablets. So most chlorine disappears from your pool within 24 hours. So most people use what's called stabilized chlorine, which are tablets that they put in their skimmer basket or a chlorinator, and that makes sure that there's stable chlorine for the whole week, and then you put it in basically once a week, and that way the pool's always chlorinated and safe to swim in. Some people are very sensitive to that kind of chlorine. They get eczema or rashes, and they find that if they use a salt generator, they can avoid that problem, and then they don't have to use those tablets anymore. So the salt takes the place of that stabilized chlorine, but it's still making chlorine. One of the myths is that, I don't have chlorine pool, I have a salt pool. It's not that. The chemistry is that it's taking the salt and turning it into chlorine with a salt generator using electricity. So you still have chlorine in your pool. It's just a different type of chlorine. So that's basically the main advantage. If you have sensitive skin, you can just put the salt in the pool a few times in the summer, brush it all up, run your salt generator, and that will make chlorine for your pool. The disadvantages are, one, there is a cost to setting it up. It's more costly than setting up, let's say, a chlorinator for tablets. You're looking at between probably $2,000 and $3,000, depending on the system you pick to get it set up. And then the other big disadvantage is that salt's obviously corrosive. Just like salt corrodes the bottom of your car, it can corrode parts of your pool. It can cause high pH, or just directly corrode things like your heater or the sidewalls of your pool, especially if you have an above-ground pool. That can be a real issue because salt's corrosive to metal. So even more attention has to be paid to making sure that your chemicals are balanced. That's a big myth. I see it online all the time where people will say, hey, I don't really need to balance my chemicals anymore. I have a salt pool. I haven't had algae since I got it. But the real reason they haven't had algae since they got it is because probably before they weren't adding enough chlorine. And now the salt generators putting plenty of chlorine in the pool, they have no algae and they think everything's perfect. But in reality, the water's either corrosive or too basic or too high a pH. And that can cause real issues with the equipment and with the pool itself. But you're not noticing that until basically it's too late. So that's the myths about salt. But the wonderful thing is that if you do have sensitive skin, or your dog swims in the pool every day and he's losing his hair from that chlorine, I've seen all that kind of stuff happen. This can help you with that problem, so you can really enjoy your pools. So there are pluses and minuses, like a lot of things in life.
Yeah.
After listening to this, I'm more sure. Please hire a professional.
Professional, yeah, because you need
you will solve a lot of problems. Prevention is the key.
It sounds like you really need to
Prevention
monitor it
is
even more
100%.
closely with the professional if you're going to have a salt pool.
Regardless which type,
or regardless
you
because
need-
the pH is the key thing with everything, I guess, to make sure it's not too high, not too low, because otherwise you'll do a lot of damage to the equipment, and prematurely wear out the parts like the pumps and things.
Yeah, my husband know me very well. Anytime, anything, I said, quarter professional. Professional. You know, a lot of things you can do yourself. Yeah. You only have 24 hours a day. Okay. If something you want to do is your enjoyment.
If it's your passion.
Yeah. If you want to garden, I know some people. Well, I have a friend.
Yeah.
She's so good with the garden.
Yeah.
It's no second. She's so good, and she's enjoying it. That's one thing. But if you just have a garden because you want to save money, and not really, the water, the everything, you work out probably cheaper. Just go down to the store, right? Or online shopping.
Yeah.
So the same with the pool. The purpose you have
The
it.
purpose of
because
the pool
you're
is to enjoy it. Or,
Right.
Yeah, you're quarter professional, and
But the view of a nice pool, there's nothing beats it when you look out, just enjoying. It's part of the landscape. In my opinion, it's part of the landscaping. It's just nothing more pretty than looking out and seeing the
Especially
blue
a
water,
hot day.
a blue water pool that's
Yeah.
clean, and you have the deck. It's just part of the overall enjoyment. Is the people that just want to sit there, have the coffee, and just admire it.
It makes for a very relaxing backyard.
Very
that's for
relaxing
sure.
backyard. Yeah,
And the
And-
party too. You have a kids, you have a friends, come over, have a pool. I mean the barbecue and everything.
Absolutely.
I'm go for the food. I can't swim. I'm the person, right? I can't swim.
You can still dip your toes in, though.
No,
Yeah,
I
you
just
know how to swim, just not your.
I rather just a very basic and like a dog,
Yeah.
And I'm more prefer to stay very close to the barbecue table.
Got it.
Does your company get involved by when realtors give you a holler when there's like a home inspection issue and some issues that need repair, like the pumps, maybe the gates? There's a lot of safety issues that come up with pools and in home inspections because do you get involved in stuff like that?
Yeah, sure. I mean, a lot of times when people are getting ready to sell their houses, they want to make sure everything's perfect for the sale. They don't want to have any holdup, so that they know that a problem's cheaper to fix than to leave it to the sale to be mitigated. Whatever
You have
argued
to
over at
fix
the sale.
Yeah, you have to
You
fix-
want to fix it
yeah.
beforehand.
Before, yeah.
Instead of calling me last minute, I definitely will. I'll let them know. Hey, there's an issue here. There's an issue here. Let's get it taken care of before the house goes to sale.
Yeah. Even I mean, a lot of time, right? Some people, some sellers, start to take care of a house just before they sell.
Yeah,
And I would always tell people, please enjoy your home. Okay. Do the renovation you always want to do. Call your friend, your professional, come give you advice, and take care of the pool, the roof, the everything, so you can enjoy. Don't just do it before you want to sell the house, and do it as soon as you purchase the house.
A lot of sellers
Or
tell
start today.
a lot of sellers tell you that they regret that they're selling because once they get the house ready for sale, it looks
So
it looks so
beautiful.
beautiful. They said, "Man, I wish maybe I should reconsider selling it."
Some of them joke with me, say, Jane, I'm sorry, I'm not going to sell my house. I have a perfect house. Yeah. So,
Yeah, like getting it all ready and stuff. Yeah. What are some common mistakes you see when homeowners try to do the opening or closing themselves? You've probably gotten calls where they're halfway through the process, and
Like my friend.
and they mess it up, and then they call the services of a pro like your company to come in and kind of bail them out.
The number one thing I see is people not properly balancing their chemicals. Number two is people, when they go to winterize their pool, and if there's one thing you should probably hire somebody to do is winterize your pool, even if you decide.
Well,
you
let's
can't
talk
afford
about
to do
that
the
now,
rest.
with the winterizing, which is down the road.
Yeah,
starting,
so we don't think about it this time of year, but when it comes time to winterize your pool, it's probably the most important part. It's the thing that the professional can help you the most with. It's making sure as much water as possible is out of the pipes or is properly airlocked, and all the proper winter plugs are placed in. The skimmers are protected. So a lot of homeowners either miss essential steps of it or just think they can put a cover on the pool to keep the leaves out, and then they just leave it. And that can lead to really serious problems. Again, it's just like the other maintenance issues. This seems like the cheaper answer than hiring somebody, but it ends up costing them thousands of dollars in a new liner, digging up a pipe, replacing equipment, things like that. So it's definitely that would be one of the biggest mistakes I think homeowners make, is not taking winterization seriously. And you're kind of rolling the dice every time you don't properly winterize your pool, that you're hoping that the winter's not too bad, that it doesn't, damage the pool somehow.
Last year was brutal.
Brutal.
So I mean, last year we had 4 homes, right? The furnace just shot by itself. Luckily, we checked the house on very regular basis for all the vacant home under contract. We just checked them. So I can imagine whoever, like you said, just put a cover, and that's gonna be.
I'm sure you're going to get calls this year from certain homeowners that did it themselves and have found out that the pipe is broke because they didn't take water in, and that's.
I always tell my clients about when I used to represent buyer. I always tell them, if you have a irrigation system, right? You have a sprinkler system, and you always at least first year, right? I would say every year, but at least first year, call the professional to winterize. When, like you said, the winterize is more important because the pipe can burst.
Right.
When you open yourself, it take a long time to clean the balance, whatever. If you're stuck, you can call professional. But if you didn't winterize it, it's 10 times worse.
Right.
To
exactly.
repair. Yeah.
And that's something to say in the real estate industry. If I was a buyer of a house and I was buying a house in the winter, I would want some kind of guarantee that it was professionally or properly winterized.
That's a great point. It showed me the receipt that it was properly done. That's
normally we do.
We
provide that. They can call the pool company. Normally, I think that the thing, like you said, David, put a buyer in ease. If my client had the same pool company forever,
and has
any questions, ask the pool company. I don't know, I just use it. So that's give a buyer more confidence. The
More
pool is
peace of mind,
professionally done.
Yeah. Well, David, it's been very informative. We want to thank you for being our guest. We're out of time. Please share your contact information one more time with our listeners so they can give you a call, and call you soon rather than later.
Again, it's Pool Bros 732-593-7133. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. We hope you guys enjoyed the show. We'll see you next week. Have a good one.
Enjoy your pool.